right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Their mortgage check was in the mail, but the wrong guy tried to cash it.
I said, no, I don't know this person, and I have not written them a check.
Tonight, one couple's warning about the trick of mailbox thieves.
Seasonable and reasonable, at least for now. The changes coming over the weekend into early next week that could impact travel.
Our top story, beaten, cut with a glass bottle, and urinated on. A shocking crime on the streets of North St. Louis.
You shouldn't just beat somebody and leave them on the ground for dead.
Tonight, we're learning more about the vicious New Year's Day attack. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Witnesses tell police 2 men and the victim got into a fight near North Jefferson and Del Mar last night. That is just steps from Kipp High School and the Scott Joplin House. Our Robert Townsend is live from the neighborhood tonight. Robert.
Mike, the wild fight happened just outside this police substation you see right here and across the street from that gas station you see down there on Del Mar. Now, I talked to outraged customers and workers at the gas station. They're just glad the victim survived. On New Year's Day, police were initially called for a shooting at North Jefferson and Del Mar. But when officers got there shortly before 6 that evening, they said they found a 52-year-old man suffering from cuts and injuries to his face. Investigators say he wasn't shot, but brutally beaten.
Nobody deserved it. That's all I can say. Nobody deserves to be beaten.
Police say the victim was drunk when he started a fist fight with an 18-year-old man across the street from the Crown Mart. Investigators say a 20-year-old guy then jumped in, and both suspects continued to assault the victim by kicking him, hitting him with a glass bottle, then urinating on his face. The man was taken to a hospital in critical condition.
It's more than crazy. It's whacked out.
I'm upset. I got a baby and all types of stuff. Like, that's not cool. I don't appreciate it.
A gas station worker tells 5 on Your Side prior to the reported beating, all 3 men came inside the store and then left. She says the men know each other and are regular customers. We're also told they live down the street at the Tiny Homes Transitional Housing Village that provides temporary housing for the homeless. A city spokesman is trying to verify that for us. Police say after beating up the man, the 2 suspects ran inside the gas station and informed an employee that they had just knocked out a man across the street.
I don't think it's no good reason. Regardless of what was going on, you shouldn't just beat somebody and leave them on the ground for dead. That's evil. It's disgusting.
I just hope he survived, you know. Only thing we can do is pray for him.
The victim is expected to recover. Now, police tell us when they arrested those 2 suspects, they both admitted their involvement in this crime. As of right now, neither has been charged. We're live near downtown West. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
Now, that violent New Year's Day attack happened just hours after St. Louis wrapped up 2023 with a significant drop in crime. The city released its year-end crime data today. They say murders were down from 200 in 2020 to 158 last year. That's a 21% drop. Shootings down 24%. Gun violence involving juveniles saw a huge drop with a decrease of 47%. The city is also reporting a 39% drop in felony thefts.
A violent and deadly start to 2024 in North St. Louis County. Tonight, police are investigating a deadly shooting in Moline Acres. A man was found shot to death at a gas station on Chambers Road around 6:45 tonight. Investigators say the victim drove himself to this location after being shot. Police are still looking for the gunman tonight. And this shooting happened just about 2 miles down Chambers Road from another deadly shooting on New Year's Day. The Major K Squad is investigating after 44-year-old Keith Usery was found shot multiple times in his home on South Schluter Avenue in Delwood. If you have information on either case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. It's an anonymous tip line, 866-371-TIPS. Well, a quiet and cold night across the St. Louis region.
Yeah, but it's going to be chilly at the bus stop for many students returning to school tomorrow from winter break. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here to tell us how cold it will feel in our Weather First forecast.
You know, we don't have a lot of wind tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be on the chilly side, but still above average for the month of January. and it might look a lot like this. This was our sunset tonight from Jamie up in Gillespie, Illinois. Look at that beautiful sky. We had the high clouds in place. That's from a weather system that's going by to our south now. It's been producing some good rain across Texas that they really need down there. It'll spread across southern portions of Arkansas. We're kind of on the northern fringes of that, so just some high clouds sliding through here. And we actually do have a little cool front that'll slide through heading into early tomorrow, and that'll turn our winds more to the west-northwest, but not gusty winds. We're right around 30 degrees, give or take a few across the area at this point. We're dropping back into the 20s tonight. That's seasonable for this time of year. Average low temperature is about 25. Some rain and snow, that chance is there for Saturday, really Friday night into Saturday, but it's not a big system, and the impacts would be mainly wet roads. The system that follows that early next week is a much stronger system, may have bigger impacts across parts of the Midwest. We'll get into that in about 10 minutes.
All right, Scott. It's been almost 8 months since a major water main near the Dogtown neighborhood broke, flooding part of I-64, and residents in the neighborhood are still having issues with water pressure. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live near the Tam Avenue overpass with what those people are still dealing with. Laura.
Mike, residents here in the heart of Dogtown say their water pressure is terrible and at times barely usable ever since that water main broke right back here in May. Isabel Mickish says this is what comes out of her kitchen sink when she turns on the water full blast.
And that's what we'll get pretty much every day. So of course it makes it very difficult to wash dishes, get water, do your daily necessities.
Mickish says she's lived in Dogtown for 4 years and loves it, but as soon as the water main broke near Tam Avenue, it's been hard to do anything at her home involving water.
I mean, all of this happened about 8 months ago, and I mean, the first week of it, we had absolutely no water at all, so that of course made things very difficult for us. As the 8 months went through, I mean, still continuously have had issues and still dealing with it even today.
She says when it gets even colder, it gets worse, and she's reported the issue multiple times with no response back.
I feel like for the first few weeks, they were very attentive to what was going on. And then as the months went on, they really haven't paid too much attention to it. They've kind of swiped it right under the rug.
A St. Louis City spokesperson tells me work on the water main break is very close to completion and shouldn't be affecting pressure at this point.
This isn't a great flow at all.
Just under a mile away, Jeremy Rabus is dealing with the same issue.
But the sink is in the bathroom is sort of the biggest issue. I had to take the aerator off the faucet in order to get a decent amount of water, and it appears to be pretty pressurized, but when you put that aerator back on, it's like a tiny little trickle.
Both residents want to see change or at least get more information about when things might go back to normal, as the second round of water rate increases are scheduled to take effect this month.
But this was like the big tuna, I guess, and we're still feeling the effects.
A spokesperson for the city told me tonight that the Water Division will be looking further into the issue, and anyone with water pressure problems should file a report with the Citizen Service Bureau either online or by calling 314-622-4800. Reporting live in Dogtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
And tonight we know the identity of the teen shot and killed at a rural Lincoln County home. Police tell a 16-year-old Matthew Robinson was shot during a domestic disturbance Sunday morning. Investigators say there were 5 people in the home on Dotson Road at the time. So far, no arrests. Robinson was a student at New Horizons High School in Troy.
A judge has reduced the bond for a former St. Louis County police officer accused of firing shots during a Halloween event at Kirkwood Middle School. Matthew McCullough bond has been reduced from $500,000 to $250,000. Once he makes bail, he's ordered to undergo inpatient treatment at Centerpoint Hospital. He will also be under GPS monitoring. His next court date is January 19th. A warning tonight from a St. Louis County couple who almost lost thousands of dollars due to check fraud.
They got a call from their bank saying a thief got a hold of the mortgage check and tried to cash in. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon is just back from speaking with that couple, Brent.
Mike Kelly, tonight they're beginning the new year pretty thankful that a crafty crook's plans got intercepted by a watchful bank teller who noticed something just wasn't right.
It's kind of scary.
Makes you a lot more aware.
The O'Briens couldn't believe it when they got a phone call a day after Christmas.
So I said, please stop it.
It was a representative from PNC Bank telling them a man tried to cash a $2,400 check with their signature. The O'Briens say the man showed an ID and a debit card in an attempt to prove the check was intended for him.
So she told me his name and the amount, and I said, no. I said, I haven't done anything with this person and did not write them a check.
They wrote the check to pay their mortgage. They placed it in a blue post office box like this. The O'Briens believe someone stole it and committed what's called check washing. A crook obtains a legitimate check and then washes out the details to steal your money. In this case, the watchful teller noticed something out of the ordinary.
The numbers, the date, and all that are my handwriting. The pay to handwriting and the amount of the dollars is different handwriting than mine.
The thief nearly doubled the check, but he didn't get the goods.
And she said, well, he got a little bit nervous and he left after I started questioning him.
So that it doesn't happen to you, experts recommend dropping off your mail inside the post office. They say always retrieve your mail as soon as you can. When you write a check, use a gel pen and routinely monitor your bank accounts online. If not for that attentive teller, the O'Briens could have been out thousands of dollars.
I think I'm going to go to automatic withdrawal.
The couple says their bank is now in possession of that check. They say the bank's fraud department now investigating.
Devastation tonight in Japan. Dozens are dead after more than 100 earthquakes. Plus, the tragic end to one relief mission to the region. Repairing a broken phone can be costly and inconvenient.
Families could save up to $330 a year if they were able to repair their products themselves.
One state is now making it more affordable and easy. How Missouri and Illinois consumers can reap the benefits.
Last month, over 8 degrees above average, just about 3 degrees above average so far into the new year. Why the lack of cold leads to bigger questions with the next couple of weather systems.
Tonight, aftershocks continue to rock western Japan after a series of powerful and deadly earthquakes. At least 57 people are dead. Many houses and buildings have been toppled. Most areas are only accessible by air. The region has experienced more than 100 quakes in just over a day, the largest a magnitude 7.6 tremor. In Tokyo, 5 people are dead after a fiery runway collision involving a passenger jet and a Coast Guard plane. That Coast Guard plane was about to take off to deliver aid to the victims of the earthquakes. The Japan Airlines jet was landing at the time, and all 379 people on board that plane were evacuated safely. The crash remains under investigation.
More women who are not pregnant are requesting abortion pills. A study published in the JAMA Journal shows in the days after a draft of the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision leaked, requests spiked from 25 a day to nearly 250. After the official decision came down, there were about 90 requests per day. The study shows women requesting the pills were more likely to be white, 30 or older, and live in urban areas. Missouri is one of a dozen states suing to block the medication. The U.S. Supreme Court will weigh in later this year.
A consumer alert tonight. More than 7,000 pounds of ground beef is being recalled due to a risk of E. coli. The meat was shipped to 4 states, including Illinois. According to the USDA, the products were produced by Valley Meats on December 22nd. The packaging has the establishment number EST5712. If you have some in your freezer, throw it out or return it to the store. Federal officials say the contamination was discovered during routine testing. So far, though, no reports of illnesses. Well, repairs to your phone or computer can be costly and complicated.
Too often, your only options are to either use the manufacturer's preferred repair service at a possibly inflated price or buy a whole new product. But as Consumer Reports explains, change is on the way.
I don't remember exactly how I dropped it, but it started a little crack, and then every time I would take off my case, I would just notice a little bit more damage.
If I don't get it fixed in time, I lose all my information. it'll cost a lot to fix. You might as well buy a new one. I said, I don't want to buy a new one.
It's a common gripe for consumers. Manufacturers often limit tech repairs to authorized repair shops, making it much harder for people to search for convenient and affordable service, much less perform the repairs themselves.
Oftentimes manufacturers, they don't develop these products with repairability in mind, and then on top of that force consumers to again rely on them for repairs, which can be costly and at times inconvenient.
But that might be starting to change. Consumer Reports advocates like Angel Hahn helped pass the nation's first right to repair law in New York, giving residents more choices in how they can get tech products like laptops and phones fixed.
You can go to an independent repair shop that should be able to provide the same kind of quality of repairs like Apple or Best Buy. Alternatively, you are now able to get the parts, the tools, instruction manuals straight from the manufacturer.
Similar bills are in the works in California, Colorado, Massachusetts, and Minnesota. But even if you don't live in a state that has a right to repair law, you may see benefits. Manufacturers are beginning to make replacement parts and service manuals available online. Information Consumer Reports says has been secret for way too long and could save consumers big bucks.
Families could save up to $330 a year if they were able to repair their products themselves or find other ways to repair their products outside of the manufacturer, as well as save over 600,000 tons of e-waste going into landfills.
Most right to repair laws cover electronics like laptops, smartphones, and tablets, but not home appliances like microwaves or medical equipment. But as right to repair laws become more common, eventually they could end up covering more items around the house. A winter wonderland is starting to take shape in Wildwood. Hidden Valley Ski Resort posted this video today showing its snow machines hard at work. No word on when the slopes will open for the season.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now with that weather first forecast, and there may be some snow in our future, but not our immediate future.
No,
right,
it doesn't look like there's anything imminent at this point. In fact, you know, it's borderline being able to make snow. Hidden Valley had a good night last night with the temperature dropping to around 20 degrees, but it probably isn't that cold tonight. Right now, you're looking out at Lambert. We do have a few high clouds in and across the area. And temperatures are still a little below freezing for most of us, but not as cold as we ended up last night. Early this morning, there were a lot of spots down into the teens west of St. Louis, around 20. And then as we worked our way east, the clouds were holding temperatures up for much of the overnight. But right now, most of us, once you get away from town, have settled back into the 20s. And it'll be a chilly start tomorrow morning. We have a mostly clear sky to partly cloudy skies, just high thin clouds. Winds calm, 34 right now. Dew point's 24, so the air's still dry. 45 and 28 go in the record books for the high and low today. That's about 3 degrees above average. So overnight tonight, 29 in town, outlying areas back into the 20s. The wind's light out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds. We'll look at temperatures climbing again back into the lower 40s for highs, so slightly above average once again. Weather systems going by to our south. This system across Texas spreading into Louisiana. We're on the northern fringes of the high cloud cover with that. So really the next couple of days, there's not much of an impact weather-wise here. This system on the west coast will be working its way inland. That is our weekend system, which also tends to slide by to our south. And this behemoth of a storm up here over the Aleutian Islands will be making its way towards us, that energy, by the early part of next week. So let's get you through the weekend first. By Friday night into early Saturday, there's a chance for a little light rain or snow. Emphasis here is chance and a little bit. It won't be much, and temperatures are expected to stay above freezing. So we don't expect any big impacts from this. Maybe a couple of sprinkles or flurries heading into late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. But again, not a big dramatic impact. Now, this next system that comes in behind that one will be on the west coast Sunday. It digs here into the Four Corners region, and this is a huge amount of energy. That energy is going to drive an intense storm system and likely across the Midwest with a lot of wind, with a lot of rain, potentially with a lot of snow, but the cold air is seriously lacking. So again, we're still in that pattern recognition mode, 7 to 10 days out. The pattern is favorable for winter weather, but that limiting factor, and it's been this way again this winter like it was last winter, where's the cold air? We're looking. Can't find a whole lot of it. I mean, Monday, we could conceivably hit 50 degrees before it cools off into the 40s for highs on Tuesday, and then drops into the 30s later Tuesday afternoon. So most likely it's a rain to snow scenario, you know, Monday night into Tuesday, but it's still too soon to get too specific.
Yeah, where is that cold wind?
Yeah.
All right, Scott, thanks.
Sports is next.
Should Mizzou fans really be excited about that win on Friday? I have some thoughts on Frankly Speaking. Plus, an NFL owner got a big fine, and the Billikens have a big and very talented player now.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire.
The Blues have got to get going. 8 make the playoffs. They're tied for 10th. Now's the time. 5 of the next 6 are at home, including Thursday against the Canucks. Hockey Hall of Famer Al McInnes watched practice today, along with Missouri Sports Hall of Famer Barrett Jackman. They kept their eye on young Matt Kessel, recent call-up, along with the latest call-up, Nathan Walker. As the Blues got in some classroom work, too, that ties in with Jake Neighbors, who hopes to continue his learning in 2024.
Just continue to develop and have the same mindset I've had the last couple of years, and you know, still a young kid in this league. It's you know, try to prove himself and you know, play for a long time. So can't get complacent. You know, I'm only 21 years old and still have a lot of hockey left in me, I think. So I got to continue to get better and develop.
The Blues prospects are awesome. At the World Juniors in Sweden, Jakub Schadenstill had 2 goals for Czech Republic in the win against Canada. The Blues have 5 players in the Final 4 and had 34 playing in the event, most among NHL teams. Nobody wanted a new start on the new year more than Travis Ford and the Billikens. The 7-6 record is not bad, but they had that hideous loss against Carbondale, and they lost 4 players due to injury. Tomorrow, they will resume the season after a 13-day vacation. That's almost as much as Kelly Jackson gets each month here at 5 on Your Side. And Loyola Chicago is going to have to deal with big, bad Brad Ezewiro, 6'9", 265 of muscle and athleticism. In 2 games, he's averaging 18 points and 7 boards on 70% shooting. The Billikens were using 6'4" TJ Hargrove, and Hargrove, who's moved to the forward spot, loves the big fella.
He just makes a big impact. I mean, everybody, you know, is focused on him now. They see him down there, they're going to double Brad the rest of the way. So now all the attention is on Brad, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. Like I told him every day, I'm proud of him, and just go out there and have fun and play, bro. Like, it's always a blessing to get out there and play basketball. Go out there and have fun. And he's making a big impact. He's doing what he's supposed to. We expect nothing less out of him.
We need him to rebound at a high rate, score at a high rate, defend at a high level, and not just in 18, 19 minutes. We need to get those minutes up.
Look right side of your screen now. Carolina owner David Tepper caught on camera appearing to throw his drink at a Jacksonville fan. He was fined $300,000 by the league. Tepper is the new Daniel Snyder. A final thought on Mizzou football. There is a belief by some that the Cotton Bowl victory doesn't mean as much because A, Ohio State was playing without an All-American receiver and with a third-string quarterback, and B, the game was rough to watch. Can't argue B. The first 2.5 quarters were more boring than standing in line at the DMV. And don't forget, Mizzou was playing without arguably their best 2 defensive players. Let's remember this. College football is a pass-fail deal. Mizzou passed. They just won a Cotton Bowl by beating the team with the highest winning percentage in college football history. That's the only thing that matters. I struggled in a pass-fail class at UMSL once, but I passed, so I spiked the ball. Don't let the Joy Stealers try and rob you here, Mizzou. Spike that ball. You are 11-2. And oh, by the way, you have the nucleus of the team coming back. You have done better work in the portal than any team in America. You have a schedule that may have you 7-0 out of the gates next season. And guess who will be on the committee to select the teams in the college football playoff? Gary Pinkley. Mizzou fans, your program rocked this year and could be rocking for years to come. That's Frankly Speaking for tonight. Kelly and Mike, back to you.
All right, Frank, thanks. A chocolate giant facing a faceless lawsuit. One woman's sour take on a Halloween sweet.
Starting tomorrow, the smells of St. Louis barbecue will take over Florissant. The newest Sugar Fire Smokehouse will open its 14th location on North Lindbergh. Are you hungry, Frankie? It's the first in North County, and it's also the first Sugar Fire location to be majority woman-owned and operated.
All right, so a Florida woman is suing Hershey's for false advertising. She claims the Reese's peanut butter pumpkin she purchased didn't match the outside wrapper. The packaging shows a face cutout in the chocolate. The actual candy was just solid chocolate. Hershey's is not commenting on the lawsuit.
Maybe it just melted?
No, I just don't think they drew a face in
She
the
could just
chocolate.
take a knife
But
and
I
cut
don't
it
know what
out.
the damages
Yeah,
are.
is
for
she
something
really
like
harmed
that.
by this?
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.